Hello, friends. Today it's just one of those days. Hello. I had zero plans to come live today, but I needed to not be alone, so. Hi, Angie. Good morning. It's early for you. Well, maybe it's not that early. Hi, Bex and Sandy. Kristen. Susie. Is that what you go by, Susie? Hey, Dawn. Wow, there's so many of you. Hi. This is what I needed. Just needed to not be alone. So I'm just gonna work on my bookshelf. I have like 0 topics in mind. Like usual, this is pretty much how my lives usually go. We're just gonna talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. And yeah. This is always a weird setup for me when I come over. Here. Yay! What are you stitching on? Oh, we can stitch together. Okay. I think I'm situated. I do feel like I've got a pretty good start on the shelf. This is the bottom of the shelf. So I think this bottom stitch actually is the bottom of the shelf. It'll feel nice and anchored when I get that part filled in. Just sitting down for some morning coffee. This is the time of year where I use eggnog as creamer, and I'm out of eggnog. Oh, this cord cannot stay here. Hold on a second. Let's get you out of my way. Hi, Emma. Oh, it's afternoon for you. Thanks for popping in. It's 10 a.m. for me, 10:15. And like, I've been on the floor in tears already, so it's not been, it's rough. It's rough right now. But that's okay. My puppy thinks that she's being neglected. But she's not, I promise. So if you hear her whining, she's okay. A Key West Oh, I love watercolor charts. They're always so pretty. I love watercolor in general, so seeing the charts that are watercolor are fantastic, I think. I've not really checked out the Little Stitchery, though I have seen charts from them. I need to scoot over a little bit. Oops. Okay. There we go. Oh, Oh, Sandy. I hope she's okay. Hugs to you, Angie. Thank you. Your toddler brought you a takeaway. You know, some days that's just how you do it. I get that. California. It's 7 a.m. in California. Good morning. Woo! 15,000, Kristen. Is there like, are you heading towards a finish on it? Or you're just still in the like okay stage? Good morning, Julia. There's so many of you. I'm glad to hear that, Sandy. That's always so stressful. You can do it, Kristen. By the end of the year, you got it. You're working on your stitch 30. Is it your Oilers, Angie? Is that what you're doing? Oh, yes. I was trying to remember. I did watch your last video, and I just couldn't remember if you had switched it or not. You can make some really decent progress on Mario with it being your daily. On my temperature library, that is my stitch 30. I finished my July books last night and realized that only took me like a week to do. And so then I was thinking about how quickly that means I could finish the whole thing. And it's possible for me to finish this year. Or like into the first week maybe, but it's nice. It's nice to know that you have like you can make progress. My words are not here. I'm so sorry, guys. Maybe I shouldn't go live. It's nice to know that with small efforts you can make big progress. Whenever I say that stitching is my therapy, it's learning things like that I mean. That I'm learning constant lessons. And not all my pieces have goals set to them, and sometimes the goals are kind of big ones, like this one. This one is not a small goal, but regular progress through days when it's just a lot of confetti is like it teaches me that I can do things. when it's hard. And that's a good thing to know. One thing I didn't do when I rolled this back up is put, okay, here we go. So right here, because it's not stitched, it's very loose. And I was thinking that I should put some like felt or fabric here to bulk it up, because I don't like side tensioners. I feel like it warps my stitching to use a side tensioner. So this is like floppy and I don't like it, but the only way to do anything about it is to unroll it and roll something up in it, and I just haven't done that yet. That's not a thing I've done. It's a lot of things I haven't done. How do I set my goals for the bookshelf? Okay. Yeah, felt I feel like is going to, like, just to give that, just, it's really just the edge part. It's just this outer part that needs something. Okay. So how I set my goals for my bookshelf is that I have an ultimate end goal date. And I know that it's a realistic goal for me. I know that it's possible for me to stitch that much. So I kind of backed into my daily goal in that way. Is I have an end date, and I like to account for when I'm going to be out of town. So I just take a rough stitch count for an entire shelf, and sorry, just looking at my pattern. I take a rough stitch count, divide that by the number of days that I'm pretty certain I'll be stitching. And that is a daily goal. If I thought that that daily goal was too much, I would adjust my end date and all of that stuff. But I have a stitch here that's not marked on my pattern. I think it's this one. And yes, it is. Okay. All right. That's just how I did it. I don't, however, like to set a lot of daily goals, because that feels really overwhelming. I know that there are some days when all I can get to is my bookshelf, and that is like the priority piece. This is the priority piece. Anything else is like nice to haves. Hi, James. Thank you. It does kind of feel weird that it's been a year since I started making videos, because it kind of feels like I just started, but at the same time, I know it hasn't been. A lot has happened in the last year. One, two, three, four. Nope, it's just supposed to be 3. And then I just start with my bookshelf. And just try to make sure I get those stitches in. When I hit areas that are pretty heavy config, I just take it as it comes and look at it as like that time is going to have to be put in one way or the other. Let's just do it now. But there are some days when I know that my time is much more limited. And on those days, I'll try to do a couple of those confetti colors. And then otherwise try to find like some bigger blocks of color. I mean, not like there's a lot of blocks of color in this chart. Which you know, Julia, if you're doing the stitching show. There's never really huge blocks of color. It's nice when I have something like this. This is all one color, but that's pretty rare. Hi, Jane. In a very rainy Scotland. There's people all over the place here today. Got the Philippines and Scotland and England and all over the US and Canada. My puppy's very unhappy that I have people to stitch with. Hi, Jerry from Ontario. See, we got Canada. At least 2 of you Canadians here. So, listen, y'all. I really do have big travel plans in my future. Like, it's a dream, I should say. They're not. It's a dream that I plan on making reality. To be able to travel all over the place and to meet like all of you. So crossing all the oceans is not going to stop me. I'm going to do it all. That's the idea, is doing it all. I have no idea why there's a very bright orange color that I'm stitching right here, but it's the correct color, so we're going to go with it. I have zero idea what I'm stitching. Like, why is this dark right here? I don't know. Then I can see, like, there's this, is this the vine? This looks like the vine. But then, what is this? Why is this all blocky? What's going on? I have no idea. This is what it's like to stitch this chart. And when you don't look at the artwork. I don't know what I'm stitching, but it'll be clear sometime, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I figure that maybe once I am done stitching on this today, I'll feel like getting dressed is something that I can do. And then I need to practice the piano. I have a lot of piano things to practice. My puppy just settled down and like growling at me. It's funny. Okay. I'm sorry. I have messages I need to come in. I have a lot of pieces that I'm coordinating. And yeah. Thanks for joining during your morning coffee, Angie. Have a good day. Obviously, what I'm stitching on over here travels all the way over here. All of these colors have been started from this book and then just trailed that way. Okay. I told my daughter yesterday that sometime I needed to go to Hobby Lobby because I needed another pair of scissors. She's like, don't you already have 2 pairs of scissors? I mean, like, for stitching. I needed another pair of stitching scissors. Like, don't you already have 2 pairs? I'm like, yeah, but they have homes already, and I need one for a new home. A new stitching home. She's like, why can't you just move them around? I'm like, no. Why can't I just have another pair of scissors? I think she doesn't mind too much, though, because then it means she'll get to go to Hobby Lobby, too. We'll probably go next week. Early next week. You can never have too many. Hi, Celia. Oh, hi. Do you want to come say hi to everybody? You need to get your face over here. I never lose. I probably shouldn't say never because tomorrow I'll probably have lost one if I say that. I don't recall losing scissors regularly because I don't usually replace them, but I don't like to have an excess, but I do like them to just live where I need them, like in the places where I stitch. And now I have a new place that I stitch, and I just needed a pair of scissors for that. That's all. See, I have 2. Pauline, I have 2, but I'm just gonna have a third one because I think I just need to know that I have the things that I need when I need them and where I need them without having to go travel around and like get the right pair or any pair, I guess. 1, 2, I'm confused. Oh, don't be confused. The stand that I'm using for my bookshelf is a Case Creation stowaway stand that I'm not using as like in its original setup. My scroll rods are also made from My scroll rods were made by Case Creations as well, but they're custom cut. So when I ordered the stand, I asked for rods and I gave them the width of my fabric and they cut it a couple inches longer than that. But that means that they're so long, or wide I should say, that they don't fit the stand as there's a word I'm searching for and I'm not getting it, but I keep thinking like the stand as it's intended to be put together. There's like a bar that goes along the bottom of the legs, like between the two legs, but I can't use that bar with these rods. So I just took them off. And then when I started to sit on a floor cushion to stitch on this piece, I then flipped the legs like backwards so they're angled differently. So I'm modifying it in its usage. But if I ever needed to, I have all the pieces. I can put it back the way that it's designed to be used. That was a long explanation to answer your question, Jerry. I do use a Lowry stand when I'm sitting, like for my Q snaps, when I'm sitting in my chair. And I do like that one a lot. I took it with me to the retreat a couple weekends ago. It was very easy to transport and have while there. One, just three, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Wait, which 3 was I doing? That's the question. Those 3. I really like the Lowry, so I would recommend it. I did not need the extra long arm in order for it to work in my chair, but kind of just barely. Like if I had any wider of an arm than I do, then that extra long arm would be really nice. But I just got like the basic Lowry, none of the like extra things. I wanted to know how I would use it instead of just guessing at what I thought I would use. And it's been working out very nicely. I think I ordered mine from Charting Creations. I kind of price checked around and then just went with it. And you never know when it's going to be in stock. I think I had to wait a little while because it was out of stock at several places. Yeah, over a sofa arm, I think a long arm would be good for that. My chair has like fairly skinny, like narrow arms. Yeah, that's true, Jerry. Knowing I'm so glad I don't really have to deal with that, but it makes it hard for you, those of you who do need to deal with like the customs and all of the extra fees that happen if you get it shipped like that. Almost pulled my needle out. There we go. I think I just realized my puppy is probably anxious because she did not finish her breakfast. And she's probably concerned that the cats, which never touch her food, but she might be thinking that they would. So let me just let her out of this room real quick. Oh, come on, Pip. Nothing like pets to get you going sometimes. All right, where am I? I do not want to get up this morning. And I finally did because my pup wanted out. I'm sure my cats wanted their breakfast. So I did. You're trying. Well, how close are you on the story keep, Celia? Wait, you've got 4,000. Okay. You're going to feel so good when that's done, though. And then you'll love to start your Christmas lodge. Like, you're so close. Your startitis is kicking bad. Oh, I get that. Emotional Suki always wants to start things, but regulated Suki hates having all the things. So I try not to. And at this point, I feel like, when there's projects you haven't touched in 6 months, you should, like, they almost feel new again. Well, you'll do what you want to do, and I'm sure you'll be happy with it one way or the other. Because even if you do start it, you'll know that you have only 4,000 stitches left. So you'll always come back to it, right? Just one stitch right here. That's it. I'm gonna stitch this one stitch. One. Doesn't it look beautiful now with that one stitch done? Your stitching goal for this weekend is to finish a page on one of your confetti heady projects. Oh man, that makes the last 2% so hard, is to have it all be little ninja stitches everywhere. That is one reason why I like to push through on the confetti when I come to those areas, is because I don't want to get stuck with just confetti all the time. Susie, what chatelaine? I love working on my chatelaine. I love it so much. I am live, Sylvie. Hi. Hi. I'm live. What has it been? 40 minutes? I have 156 stitches in. That's not too bad. I love Frosty Nut Garden. That's on my wish list to do. I mean, I don't really know how I expect to stitch like 10 chatelaines, and while I also have a, couple dozen full coverage pieces that I'm stitching or planning on stitching, but they're beautiful and I'll do them all. That's just my mentality. Oh, good. Do you have the pattern in print or in PDF on the your chatelaine. Yeah, I can see the PDF being super helpful for those, especially the 1/1s sections, because on paper those are really tiny. I just really, really like. I really like paper patterns too, though. I like having a break from being tethered to the digital. It definitely made your wish list longer. Well, you're welcome. Somebody told me, I wish I could remember who, that they really liked that video because they really liked hearing my thoughts on why it was on my wish list and or why it was still there. They just liked listening to my thought process. Oh, the sun is like, even though I have a sheer curtain. Let's do this. There we go. If there's one thing I'm good at, it's just when there's nobody to like talk back at me and I'm just streaming my thoughts. Yeah, that's what that wish list video was me streaming my thoughts out unfiltered, uninterrupted. There's nobody there like changing the course of my thoughts. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I still don't think I've bought anything since then. But that's about to change with all this Black Friday stuff going on. Owl Forest Embroidery right now is having their like 20% off, and I have one of their free charts, but every time they post, their style is just so cute. And there's a couple I'm looking at. You loved hearing ramblings. Okay, good. I'm good for that. I have considered. I don't know that. I don't know. Would I be loved for this? But I have considered just going through different designers and just, I guess, showcasing different patterns, even if I don't have them, or they're not on my wish list, because there's so many designers out there with a lot of amazing patterns. And sometimes they just don't make it on my wish list because I don't think it's, well, I guess I have to have restraint somewhere. And there's things that I can love about different designers without being the person to stitch them. I stitch vicariously through other people a lot. I consider it kind of a trade-off though, because not a trade-off, but something similar to a trade-off. mutual beneficial relationship since other people stitch this bookshelf vicariously through me? Yes, please. Okay. I have been considering doing it, so it's on my list of to-dos. I mean, it would have to be like an entire series because there's a lot of designers out there. And I feel like in order to do any of them justice, they need more than like 2 minutes of talk time. And let's be real, can I really stick to 2 minutes on just only 2 minutes, I mean? Probably not. Sometimes I'm editing videos and I'm like, oh, I talked about that for a very long time. Much longer than I thought. Yes, I think that especially as stitchers, I think that we're in a position to know, to understand how much time goes into these projects. And that is that where I'm supposed to be stitching right now? It is. But that stitch is not right. I'll fix that later. What were we saying, Pauline? Oh yes. We know how much time and effort and money goes into these projects. And we love what other people are doing for the craft itself. Not just that finished project, but the whole process of it. Okay, I said I was going to fix it later, but I'm thinking that if I don't do it now. Okay. I stitched it too far down. This is how I fix it. I stitch the color in the right spot. Which in this case is going to be just a ninja stitch. Actually, it doesn't have to be. There's a couple other stitches I can grab. So I stitched the right stitch because it's already marked in my pattern and I could frog it on my pattern, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to stitch this. And then the color that does go here, where this wrong stitch is, I'm just going to stitch over it. It looks like maybe it's a green color. Oh, cut it off, Suki. It is. It's a green color. And when it comes time to do that, I'm just going to stitch right over it. And I'll do that later. It's not the color I'm working on now, which is this one? I have Christmas music whirling around in my head. And I haven't started listening to Christmas music yet. But a lot of the music things that I am involved in are doing Christmas music. So especially the ones that I'm playing for, like I'm accompanying, is just those songs are kind of in my head right now. Especially the parts of the songs where I've been practicing the most. Which means it's not just like the melody that's in my head. It's like that da 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 da, like it's whatever it is that I'm playing. I feel like in December we're gonna have some lives and we're gonna sing Christmas songs. I feel like this is 1,000% seasonally appropriate. I have books even. I have carol books that can spark the song. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. And we can sing all kinds of verses to songs that you hardly know because it's not the first verse. As long as you know the melody, you can do it, right? I have no idea how far over I'm supposed to be stitching this. Until 3 stitches, so 1, 2, 3, so 2 more. There's one song that I'm playing that's a gospel style song, which is not a style I am familiar with playing. So that's a first for me. It's fun until it changes keys and I don't. Well, I know what I'm playing because I've been practicing it, but it's more challenging to play. but it's not a song that I was familiar with before either. There's another, one color. It looks so beautiful. Sometimes confetti stitches, here, there we go. The light coming in that window is just making it hard. It really looks good when done, the confetti does. This part right up here, I'm pretty certain every single color was a different stitch. I mean, every stitch was a different color. That's what I mean. That felt like it took forever. Okay. Hey, Peroska. Good morning. You like the idea of a sing-along stitch along? Well, maybe your cats will join in. That'd be nice, right? Okay. Let me see what I can do about... There we go. Good morning, Jen. Oops. I mean, I don't know how much stitching I'd get done while I was singing. But we do know from other lives that I am capable of doing both, so I just feel like I would stitch less. Like I would not stitch on my bookshelf while singing Christmas song after Christmas song. We'll make this happen. I have Fridays available. We're at that time of season when I do a lot of music things, which means I need to practice a lot. And then there's performances and my daughter's birthday and then the holidays themselves. Anyway, it's just more stressful than I'd like it to be. And busy. And sometimes I don't handle that very well. As is evidenced by today. I'm not used to where the sun is at this time of day since the time changes happen. I deserve a mental health day. Jen, I think every day is a mental health day for me. Oh, it's been so frustratingly bad lately. This ring right here, it's a tracker, like a sleep tracker, but it tracks a lot of metrics. So it's not just telling you, hey, look, here's that stitch that I needed to stitch over, the wrong color. Here's the green that's getting stitched over. Bam, you can't see it. Anyway, it tracks a lot of metrics, not like your phone that only tracks like some things. And one of the things that it tracks is my heart rate. And and it's kind of been freaking out at me because lately at night, I guess your heart rate is supposed to like lower in the first half of the night and then kind of stabilize and kind of stay low the rest of the night. Who knew? That's what it's supposed to do in order for like good restful sleep. That's not what's been happening lately. So every morning when I sync my tracker to the app, it tells me, your heart rate lowered really late last night. Like, did you exercise late? Are you eating late? Like, what's going on? That's basically what it tells me every single day right now. And when I look, it's like the lowest heart rate is like 30 minutes before I wake up instead of halfway through the night. So it's good. It's great lately, right? That's how it's been. So I wake up and I don't feel rested. I feel like I'm sleeping, like I'm getting like 7, not quite 8 hours, but 7.5-ish, I guess. But I wake up feeling exhausted. Like I didn't sleep at all. And I definitely broke down this morning over it. Okay. Am I using a scroll frame right now? Okay, yes. I talked about this earlier. It is very loose because it's just on the side. When I rolled this back up, see up here, I need to put felt underneath it because this part is all stitched, so it's thicker than right here. But I forgot to do that when I rolled it back up, and I have not convinced myself that that's a thing that I need to do yet. It is a thing I need to do because, yes, this is very loose and it's kind of annoying. Hi, Zan. I'm glad you could catch one. You can talk about whatever you'd like to talk about. I will talk about anything, pretty much. Hi, Rainy. You know, if it helps anybody to feel good, like, I'm still in pajamas. I've not gotten dressed. Okay, well, you're talking. I'm not a celebrity. No. I just told you that I was on my floor crying. Well, I didn't actually just tell you that, but I just said that I was in my pajamas still. You're welcome, Peroska. I really just need to unroll it in Ed felt, and that's all. Yay, Jerry, you ordered the Lowry stand. Merry Christmas to you. You're gonna love it. I'm so excited for you. You're in your PJs too because you're working from home. Well, Rainy, I never go anywhere. Somebody sent me a screenshot of my last video and was like, "You're so fancy." I'm like, making videos is me leaving. It's like the equivalent of me going out in public. That's what it is. Well, you don't have any electricity? Well, I hope that doesn't last. Yeah. You've been at work since 6. Okay, well, that's early. I actually like wearing a bra usually. I prefer it. But I also don't require one. And so most of them are comfortable enough for me. I'm fine. Look at look at all of you. You're in your pajamas. See, I'm not in my pajamas. Well, anyway, I am in my pajamas, but it's not because I work from home. It's 11 o'clock, and for me to still be in pajamas at this time of day is like definitely a mark of me not doing well. You guys are fantastic. I love you guys. No, I never. I need more than a mental health day. I need professional help now. Oh, wow. Okay. I mean, I get how that. Okay. 3 outages every day for 2.5 hours. Is this like year round or just seasonal? I definitely understand the need for it, so it's not, and at least it's planned, so I guess there's that. But 2.5 hours 3 times, that's a lot. I'm trying to do math. That's 7.5 hours. See, now we're just talking. Now we're just talking about pajamas. I'm sorry that you're sick, Samantha. Do you go by Samantha, or Sam, or Sammy? You feel like you should get changed yours. Well, Bex, did you follow your toddler and get takeout? Did you order from the takeout menu? Wow, 6 to 4:30. Oh, and you're off all of next week. That's good. That's good. Most people say Sam. Well, I'll say whatever it is you tell me to say. So, oh, passing the flu around. I hear that that's super rampant. Like RSV and flu and stuff is definitely going around. Okay, like I need a little more light to come in from this side of the window. How can I make that happen? Open opposite? Okay, there we go. I really could. This is really loose and it does bother me. I wonder if I can use this. Maternity leave. Well, you have a baby to take care of. So I think that's okay. I feel like that's just what it's like when you have a kid. It's your working outfit. Here we go. That might help a little bit. Oh, this is not the right place to be stitching that. Down here is. Yeah, like what is this dark space with like a little bit of a light color? What is this? I have no idea. Hey, and if you'd like to see pictures and things that aren't really like, I'm pretty certain this is just like a leaf, but it's got like these two green things that go up like that, and it makes it looks like little frog eyes. Like this is a froggy face. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. I think for me, getting dressed helps me feel like I don't know, like I'm ready to do things. I think that's very common for people. But because I don't work outside the home, like I really just do it for myself. It helps my mental frame of mind. Except for today when it felt like a Mount Everest to get dressed, and I already climbed it once and today and I didn't want to do it again. I wasn't ready to. It was easier to set up a live stream than it was to get dressed. I don't know if that makes me weird or not, but that's why you're getting this today. Oh. Come on, like. We can do it. Shoes make you productive and more fun. It is more fun. I agree. I couldn't get dressed and I didn't want to be alone, so I went live. And now I'm not alone. I have 36 friends right here. I don't like wearing shoes. Winter makes me so sad because I have to wear shoes more often. Like I can't just wear sandals everywhere because my feet get too cold. Okay, look, I think we can normalize that sometimes certain tasks are Mount Everest. Like they don't have to make sense to other people and or even to yourself, but sometimes it's not just like being lazy. Hi Janet. We only kind of got to meet at the retreat. But hi. Yes, sometimes we don't have enough spoons, and sometimes we're like super running negative on spoons, and and it's okay. That is that is how it is. And sometimes we have to pick and choose which Mount Everest we're going to climb because we can't climb them all. And all of them feel like they have to be done. I get it. I like being barefoot. It's not very common in America to go barefoot. It's also not very safe to go barefoot. But I have basically like a barefoot sandal that I love wearing, but when it's cold, it's cold. Hey! Welcome. The Starlet Stitcher, which for some reason, every single time, I can't remember your name, Excel, you tell me, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I knew that. You don't even like wear. See, it's so funny. I would way prefer walking around barefoot than anything else. And like socks, once they get loose, oh man, no, I cannot do that. I can only wear socks if I'm wearing shoes. And after a while, my feet like yell to get out of the shoes. Tanya, see, every time you tell it to me, I'm like, oh yeah, I knew that. I do know it's Tanya. I just can't ever remember. Whatever is down here is very dark because this is black that I'm stitching. Like running out of thread here. Dun, dun, dun. And it's splitting on me. A lot of times I can tell you a bunch of stuff or interactions I've had with a person and just can't recall the name. And I always feel terrible because I don't know, it feels wrong to me. It almost makes me feel like I don't care to remember somebody's name. How do I start and end threads? Well, it kind of depends. I often just, okay, this is not the way. I thought that looked weird. One moment, please. I have like one thread in the back right now and one thread in the front, and I think it's very confused on what it's supposed to be doing. Okay. You know what? I'm just going to call it good. So I stitch with 2 strands, and it's a tent stitch. So usually I just end my thread by running it under the stitches. I know you can't see that, what I just did, but I just run it under stitches in the back to end it. To start it, I like to use the loop start, but if I'm using a thread that has already been used, I will run it under in the back, just like I end threads. I have tried other methods. There are ways that you can like start and end on the front all the time, so you never have to turn over your work. I've tried it. It doesn't, for me, it doesn't work very well. And pin stitches don't work very well with tent stitch. And I don't like the messy chaoticness of like waist knots or waist away threads. So that's just what I do. Hi, Angela. You came so close to ordering a bookshelf last night. Pauline, you looked it up. This right here is part of a suitcase? Or like this dark spot up here, like this big, or this whole big thing? Obviously, I need to stitch more to know. I'm like, I don't know. There's a lot going on here, and I have no idea. That's funny. Okay, so Angela, which bookshelf were you going to buy? There are so many of them. Did I already? Yes, I did. Oh, multiple suitcases. It's a good thing Angie's not here. She's real big into guessing what I'm stitching. And now she can keep guessing what it is that I'm stitching. Well, if there's 3, that just means that it probably goes out. So it's not, yeah. It'll be a while before you can even tell that it's anything like a suitcase. Or 3 suitcases. It had wine bottles. There's so many because she's got a garden one and the stitching one, this one. I'm trying to remember what the wine one is called. I know which one you're talking about though. Fairy tale. I really want to do that one. Once Upon a Fairy Tale. That was released after I had started this project. I love this project. I think I still love it more than I love Once Upon a Fairy Tale, but they're close. Oh, there's the animal bookshelf. There are a lot of them. Ooh, Vintage Summer. That's a good one too. Look at how many people are doing super sizes or max colors or both. I love it. Stitching the huge things, like it's not for everyone. I totally get that. But it doesn't have to be like intimidating at all. It's just one stitch at a time, like every other project we do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Once I caught a fish alive. That's not true. I've never caught a fish alive. Wait, I probably have. I shouldn't say that. This is 28 count. And I got whatever size fabric I needed to give a 3-inch border. but for the rest of your life. Jen. Well, it doesn't have to be for the rest of your life. It depends on how many other things you want to stitch at the same time. Oh, man. Will I do another shelf after finishing this one? Possibly. I have another really big pattern that I want to do, and I kind of only want to do one really big pattern at a time. So if I do another shelf, it won't be immediately after this one. I'm glad. I am always happy to inspire. I don't mind that at all. You haven't been able to start stitching yet. Well, you're still working, right? I'm just going to consider this work. If I consider this my work, and I do, actually, in a way. And I love doing it, so. Okay, the last time I looked at the timestamp, it was less than an hour. Now it's almost an hour and a half. An hour and a half, and I've done 342 stitches, so I'm a little over halfway. Which means, depending on what the confetti levels, I've got like another hour or so, maybe an hour and a half. The distraction's real. I mean, I think that's why I have such a regular, it helps me to have a really regular goal on this project, is I still can do other things, but I never get distracted all the time. Thanks, Susie. Thanks for joining. Yeah, once you start everything, you kind of want to like touch everything. That's how I feel about having, I guess, how many I have? I have 27 projects, and like I want to touch all of them, but really I can't touch all of them, and that's why I just have smaller focuses. I like to see that I'm getting progress too, so I think that's why it's important for me every 6 months to do like a full whip parade video, is so I can see like, oh look, I did do something. Although when I was editing this last video, I was like, oh, I hardly did anything, but I did something. Bye, Sandy. Thanks for being able to join. I'm glad. Ooh, your first time stitching over 2 threads. How are you liking it? Some people find it hard to switch back and forth between over 1 and over 2. It was a disaster. Oh, I'm sorry. I wish I had tips for you, but I don't. I think the first time I stitched over 2, it was helpful for me to not try to stitch in hand, but to have it like in a frame, like a Q-snap or something. And that way I could just go slow and count. And then once I had a couple stitches in, it became a lot easier to like see. It's also a lot harder on dark fabric to stitch over 2. It's easier to stitch over 1 on dark fabric. Yeah, it is easier to try to count the threads versus the holes. Y'all, I had no idea that there was a vine. I'm being serious. Like, I thought that these, oh, you can't see. I thought that these leaves, flowers would come down a little bit, but then it would not be all the way down, but it's not. Like, there's flowers all the way down. This vine is all the way down. I had no idea. You loved watching my long video? Good. I feel like you have to love the journey to some point, like, in order to put in all the time. But you also have to love what the end will be. I don't know, you kind of have to find that balance for yourself. Oh, yes. That's true. The stitches you look huge when you're used to over 1. And then there's like my chatelaine, which is over, or my mirabilia, where I'm doing the skin over 1. It all of a sudden feels tiny to stitch the over 1 because all the surrounding ones are over 2. And here's your over 1, and you're like, it's so tiny, but it's just as tiny as my stitches I'm doing right now. So perspective is all, it's a funny thing. You don't care about the end. But so my question on that is it that you just don't care if it's finished, or you don't care what the end looks like? Like, you would stitch on anything just to be able to stitch on something, or at least you're stitching on something that you, should it ever happen to be finished, you'd also like it. Does that make sense? A little of both. Yeah. Colors are pretty important to me too. There's a kind of look that I like. $9.34. I think that's why I'm surprised sometimes when I like a pattern that has more muted colors. Excuse me. tend to be drawn to like the saturated jewel tones. I've been pretty lucky today in the confetti stitches. It's been pretty minor. Let's see. I love that. I don't often look at the mock-up or anything, especially with this piece. I like to be. I say this a lot. Like, I have no idea what I'm stitching, but eventually I will, and I'm gonna love figuring it out what it is. But I always stitch kind of with that end goal in mind, like the vision. I am a big vision person. Like when this is done, it's kind of going to look like this in connection to other pieces that will eventually also be done. So like my Lord of the Rings wall, that is, a decade in the making, or will be over a decade by the time it's finished. Pirate Story Keep and Rainbow Evolutions. Oh, Evie's got lots of pretty colors in it, so I don't blame you there. I am Angie. We're still here. I haven't finished my stitches here, so I will probably just stay live until I'm done. Wait, the Santa, was it like the Advent calendar Santa? Like with all the sequins? Because I just saw that Santa. Was that yours? I remember the caption that goes with the picture that I'm thinking of. Yes. I did see it. It didn't. Yeah, you know what? The thing about mistakes is that they're often only noticeable to the person who's making them. Otherwise, you don't normally see them. But we like to point them out anyway. It's so weird. I guess we're all entitled to our opinion, even him. We can all have our thoughts. I understand, like, uh, that would be hard to hear, though, I think. Like, when you put time and effort into something, and then if somebody was like, that's ugly. I also think it takes some grit to like work on something that you're enjoying, even if you're being told like less than positive things. Yes, it's creative license, personalization. That's what we like to go for here. Tell him that you're happy to teach him how to stitch. And once he understands the time and effort that goes into creating something, um, he can ask you to stitch something that you hate. I think that is hard because, like, the thing about non-stitchers is that they don't truly understand unless they're another artisan. They don't understand how much time goes into these things. They see it and they say, "Wow," but they still don't understand. It's hours, it's hundreds of hours that we pour into these things. Jen's volunteering her husband to you, Angela. They can have a man-to-man talk. Honestly, yeah. I think if it's small enough, that's one thing, but if it's like a big thing and it's going to take a really long time, yeah. Or make a deal. Look at that. Stitch it and request. Yeah. See? Look at that. We've got all these options for you. Yeah, like Victoria is saying, I think the time investment can be really crucial because if it is going to take a long time and you're going to dread it and just not stitch on it, it really will never be done. You know, you could sell cross stitch. I was thinking about this the other day about how artists, like the kind of artists who paint like on canvas or paper, not like the miniatures, but um, they they can paint a thing and then they can sell the original painting, but they can also create like make it into a print and then you have a print that you can sell from it. You can't do that with stitching. It's a one-time sale if you were to sell it. One time. Oh, I'm glad Lucy was proud of you for doing it, even if you didn't love it. Right over the bed. Jen, I remember reading about internal versus external motivation, and um, it was in, I can't, it was part of some book that I was reading, and I was discussing it with a group of friends, and it was like a fantastic conversation. Like, that was a really good, like, we delve deep in thinking about our own selves. I mean, it is a Santa, so like it's just one part of the year, and it's not like it's the only thing that you'd be hanging up in the Christmas season. We all give a little, right? Okay, look, for real, if I were to sell this bookshelf, it would be over $1 million. Easy. Like, that's the price tag that would be on this piece. I would never sell it, but that's how much it would be. And I think $1 million would be undervaluing myself, quite honestly. You need to hang it at the foot of the bed. That would be perfect. That way you see it when you wake up. Rainy, I don't do digital planning, and I don't particularly know of a digital crafting journal. But I am sure that they exist. I just don't know any. Is her Jen Lee, is hers digital? I couldn't remember if it was like for print. Okay, we got to talk about Blitz Stitch. His app is for iOS. If you have iOS, go check out his app. It's called Cross Stitch Journal. He has a video on it showing you around. If you are Android, go leave a comment on his video saying that you would really like an Android version, and just do it for me. I want an Android version, and I will wait a full year to get one. I would love Blitz Stitch's app. All right, so yeah, Jen Lee, she's the 24 Hours of Cross Stitch. Teresa Little Stitcher, Witchy Stitcher, Snaps, has an Excel one. Okay, it's Brian Blitz Stitch. His channel is Blitz Stitch. Hold on, I'll look this up so you can see it. It's coming up here. Hey, look. Me and Ryan, we're together. Okay. I'm live and there's 33 people watching. Okay. That's not helpful to you guys. We're looking at Brian. Okay. Hey, look, you can see the reflection of me. That's weird. Let me move this way. Okay, Blitz Stitch. And his app, sorry, I'm trying not to, it's not like really focusing very well at all. But his Floss Tube 112, it's his most recent one. It's called Cross Stitch Journal. That's the app we're talking about. It's new. He wrote it himself. He learned how to code in iOS. He spent like 8 months developing it, and if there's enough interest in Android, he'll take that on. Decisions, Bex. Sometimes they're hard. I have yet to try an Artisy. I don't own any Artisy charts yet. I do wish that they would introduce that function, Jen. It seems like so many people want that. I use StitchPal for that function right now. So I still have that record. What I like about Brian's app, well, in part what I like about his app is the charts, the way he gives you to view your data. I like that. You're leaning toward just get both. If it's feasible. Somebody asked me to show how to use StitchPal, and I have not done it yet. I could do it right now, but it would be blurry apparently because it's kind of blurry. You don't have to look at that part, Angie. It's very easy to not look at a projected finish date. I'm talking more than I'm stitching right now. Makes this. Let's see. There's a whole lot of this color down here. Where? Down here. You have a bunch of new apps to look at. You finished a QS because you were racing the finish date. That's funny. sometimes, hi Alicia, you need a warning so you can join in on time. This one was not planned, Alicia. this this was literally me like needing, yeah, I needed to not be alone, and I decided to go live. Like, it was not planned even for me. And it's been perfect. Like, all y'all who are here and who aren't any longer, you guys are perfect. Sharon, I'm sorry, guys. I do want to get on kind of the regular schedule so that you know your heads up. This was literally, I was melted on the kitchen floor this morning, and yeah, that's what this live is. I know, Jen, you live so close. Like, I mean, it's an hour and a half, but like, there's traffic, I'm sure. So you need to adjust for that, right? The hardest thing about Stitch Pal for me is that sometimes, well, quite often it's sluggish. Like on my, when I input the numbers for my bookshelf, it's it has to calculate a lot of numbers, and so it can take time to update, I guess. Um, and usually I don't wait for that to happen. I just like post my update and then close the app, and the next time I go in the app it's like done whatever it needs to do, and gotta adjust for work. Well, there's work, yeah, but you know, that drive up and down 95 sometimes, I've done it at like 3 in the morning and it's still got traffic. Like, why is there traffic at 3 in the morning? I don't know. But I guess that's DC and the area for you, any metro area. Those people are crazy. I mean, I had a legitimate excuse. I don't know what theirs was though. Mine was, I had come in from a flight, like, and I flew into that airport. So I think it was Dulles. I normally fly in and out of Richmond, but that time it was an international flight and it was just better to go up there. My one and only time flying international so far. But 1,000% won't be my last. thoughts on a non-retreat retreat? Well, what do you want me to do, Alicia? What are you saying? Zayn, I went to England 5 years ago. I started in London before going to Bath and then Oxford. And I would go back. And I would go to many more places. I really want to go everywhere. A weekend meetup full of stitching and snacks in a hotel. I mean, that basically sounds like a retreat. It just sounds like a personal retreat, right? So I have a detached garage, and it's a really big, like, 2-story garage. It's an RV garage, but the previous owners like built a second level and like a back half to it. And so there's like this room, like a finished room in the garage that's really nicely sized. And the other day I was after having gone to this retreat, I was like, wouldn't it be nice to put in this room in the garage like chairs and couches and tables, and like people can come and stitch with me. Like we could just hang out in the garage. Like I need more local people, but other people could come. I can't like sleep people, but I could have a crafty space for like small intimate gatherings. It would be so fun. I know it was all south of England, and I do want to come back, and I want to go up north, and I do want to go to Scotland. Like I want to go to all the places. There are so many places I couldn't go to in just a little 2-week trip. And you like this non-retreat retreat? Ah. You're in South. Oh, that's hard. Oh, you're so sweet. You quickly become not strangers at retreat. Like you get to know people. It was so much fun at the retreat. It really was. Unite separately. In San Antonio, there's a place minimum 5 up to 14 to gather. 65 a night. That is nice. And you provide your own food. That's a good deal. I would go for that. Absolutely. I have one memory of San Antonio. I've been there when I was a kid. That's where the Alamo is, right? In San Antonio. We went to the Alamo and it rained. It was raining the whole time. I know you would have met all the Stitchketeers. Ah. I'm going to make it to the Netherlands. I'm going to meet them someday. I'm so excited that Jemima and I are finishing our super-sized pieces together. Okay, good. I was saying, I've been to San Antonio. I've been to the Alamo. Like, hopefully they're in the same spot. Yay. See, there's so many of you guys in the Netherlands. I would love to visit everybody. I just need to have the money in which to do that. I'm going to. I will. It's going to be a thing. And then I'll visit and we can stitch together and you can show me all your projects. And then you can like tell me about your country and show me your favorite local places. Suki goes on tour. Okay, now that's sounding like. Come on, Zan already thinks that she's talking to a celebrity here. Celebrity in pajamas. We don't need to say that I'm going on tour. We don't need... I really, it's always been a dream of mine to go traveling. And I've always wanted to like know somebody local to that area who can, I mean, either like act as translator should the area need it, to tell me about like the local places in the area. Like when I visit a place, I want to know like the hidden spots. I want to know what the locals know their area, like what they know and love. Like I understand why there are touristy areas and why some things are marvels and big and stuff. And yeah, I guess I'd want to go see those too. But I'm much more interested in like the local cuisine, the local culture, like all things local. That's what I want to experience. I want to travel and experience that. And now I know people all over the place. I'm always excited when somebody like tells me where they're living and I'm like, great, because now when I come visit that area, like I have somebody. We're going to meet. I'm excited. And if there's enough people in one area, we could like have like a meetup, like a day stitch meetup. I'm sure that's a thing we can organize. Oh, that would have been such a fun experience, Sam. Okay, but Pauline, the countryside can be very beautiful. I wish that America had more. One of the things I really like about England is the countryside. Um, we don't have a lot of that here. It's it's okay. You have to find it. Yes, you can totally show me windmills and water towers. I would love it. I'm not kidding. I would totally love it. Tulips, yes. See, there's lots of things to show. You're going to Scotland via an Ireland. Yeah. Whoa. Okay. In September, you're going to like a million places. That is so fantastic. I'm so excited for you. That'll be so fun. You just retired, so now you can travel to all the things. I love it. I just need some life things to be taken care of, and Yeah, troweling is going to happen. I'm so excited. If you go to Norway, you can meet with Megan Stitching Moon. Let's see. I forgot I was stitching. I should keep stitching, really. Her Instagram is Stitching Moon, I'm pretty certain. Oh look, she came up top on my Instagram when I pulled her up. Look, it's so blurry. Why are we not? Let's see if I can get this to focus on her. No, but I can make my camera shake. Yeah, I can make it even blurrier. That's not helping anybody. Well, it's Stitching Moon. And that's what she looks like. She's American living in Norway. Her husband is Norwegian. And she has a floss tube up with all the haul. That's what it says. And Alicia commented on that. Any stitchers in Germany? There are. I was just talking to somebody who said that they were in Germany. What I need to do is have like a database of all of you amazing people and where you live. I just figured that once I got to the point where I was putting out, like, I'm planning this trip, tell me if you live here. That's my plan. That's why I don't have a database. Oh, that's wrong spot. Needlecraft Danny is German. Yeah, and even if she's likely to know other people in Germany. My focus for this is not staying around very well. Buy all the things in the US, not to, or just buy. This is why you need somebody from the US to come visit you, is then you can have them bring all the things. Because that's what Megan does, is when her family visits, she like sends them, she buys things and sends it to their address, and then they bring it over for her. Lunch hour stitching. Oh, what is going on here? Oh, I split my, that's not good. I split my own thread in a weird spot. Look at that, free accommodations in South Africa, and we can see lions in exchange for quilt and cross stitch fabric. I love it. Last night I parked in the parking lot for my dance classes, and it shares a parking lot with like some restaurants and a grocery store and stuff. So, but I parked and there was just there was a travel van like right in front of me, and it wasn't just like, oh, that could be converted. Like I could tell that it had already been converted into a travel van and had like cabinets and things inside of it. And I was like, I want to travel. I want a travel van so I can travel the US like easily, and then do something different to go international, obviously. But oh, my heart obviously wants to go everywhere. Zan will pay for fabric. You just need a mule. I volunteer, but it may take a couple years, okay? Elise should be happy too as well. Alicia wants to travel. Um, yeah, Rainy, figure out how many stitches there are and then let us know. I don't know if Celia's still here, but she said earlier that she had like 4,000 stitches before she was done with a story keep. So you're just watching while waiting to pick up the kids? I love that we just have this little place here where we can just hang out. Like, there's no expectations for anything. Hi, Susie. North Wales. I am not even going to try to pronounce where you are because it would be 100% wrong. But North Wales, I can do. Hey, Case. I don't know that there would be an easy way, Rainy, because you have stitches on like the second row too, don't you? It's not just the first row. Like your full columns would be easy to figure out, but your partial ones would be hard. There's so many of you from the UK here right now. I guess we're hitting evening there, right? So we've got the post work. The time zone that I think is hardest for me to figure out is like my Australians and New Zealanders. They're the hardest ones for me to hit on a live. Yeah. Angie's willing to count it out for you, Rainy. Whew, I just reached 501 stitches, so I have 100 more to go. Well, 99. But I'm never exact, unless it just happens to be exact. Yeah, time zones are impossible because you've got people who shift around at different times or don't shift at all, but Australia and New Zealand, from where I am, they're like 13 hours ahead, I think, of me. So it's a hard one. Sometimes I get the ones who I like just barely waking up, but usually it's nighttime for them when I end up going live. Maryland just got rid of daylight savings time. Like you won't. Okay, I live in Virginia, so obviously I should know that better, Jen. I don't pay attention to life. I rely on all of you to tell me what's going on. Okay? That sounds about accurate. I know that there was voting happening about getting rid of daylight savings and that it was like partially passed, but maybe not all the way passed, and I don't know. And then it wouldn't happen for another year anyway, so why would it even matter to me right now? Life is no fun. But I want life to be fun. Like, roughly 3,500 stitches left, and you're trying to do that by the end of the year. You can do it. If you really wanted to do it. I mean, Christmas is in 37 days, so you've got 37 plus 7 to the end of the year. Whatever that math is. So if you say that you're not going to work on it maybe 7 days, so you just have 37 days, that's 94 stitches a day. That's what my calculator says. Like, that is doable. You could totally do it. Like, aim for 100 stitches a day, and then you can still work on other things. Then you would still have variety. Yeah, it's not bad. You could still have your like variety in your stitching. I don't understand what's happening right here. Oh, I know what's happening here. But yeah, I would aim for that 100 so that you had some leeway like for Thanksgiving and Christmas. Or just really busy days otherwise, like you could take some days off knowing that you were reaching for that 100 or 150. Like, you can do it. Alicia's learning the power of the daily stitch count like this. Or tell your family they have to leave you alone. Rainy would have to tell her friends. I can't go out yet. I gotta finish my stitching. Daily 500. I really wish that I could do 500 a day and meet my goal, but if I only did 500, it would not, it's not enough. Thanks for being here with us. That'd only be 7 days for Rainy. Yeah, if she wanted to stitch 500, you could get it done in a week. She's got a lot of confetti in that piece, though. You know, I just realized I'm like talking about traveling. This piece can't travel. So I guess my travel plans will have to be very limited until November 2024. I allow for basically 60 days of traveling. So it allows for travel. Just not world tour celebrity status travel. Suki can't come home playing because they're stitching. Just this one. I stitch on all the other things when I'm traveling, but just this piece can't. Bye, Zan. Thanks for joining. I think that 60 days of traveling is a pretty generous amount still in a year, right? Like that's why my goal is 600 daily, is so that I have those 60 days. They're just not all at once. There's a craft thrift store in Baltimore. I mean, Baltimore's not close to me, but I want a craft thrift store. You don't need any more stuff. Oh, there is one in Richmond? Well, obviously I don't know Richmond. I just live here. But I can't come out and play because of my stitching, right? Well, I'm gonna have to look it up. One of the biggest things about Baltimore that I know is "Good morning, Baltimore." But I don't even know the whole song, so when you wake up and see Baltimore and me. How do we find these Obviously, you know people like Jen who knows that it's in your area. That's how I find it, apparently. Case, I saw that you were stitching on it again, now that you've got snow going on. I don't have snow. I have no idea what I just stitched. I just stitched like a vertical stitch where I shouldn't even have been stitching a regular stitch. I'm on the last 100 and I can't focus, apparently, on this. I'm blabbing more than I'm stitching right now. I would rather hang with you guys, Jen. I really would. When I get off here, I have to get dressed. What? It's only noon. Oh, it's almost 1. Whatever. Mhm. Getting dressed is overrated. Except I do have somewhere I think there's people coming to my house today. I don't know when. And I don't think I have to be here. Okay, so here's the situation. This weekend. My brother We all know she's running off to the craft thrift store. No, I don't want to drive anywhere. I don't really want to go anywhere. Not today. And I don't know that my daughter would love it if I went to a place like that without her. She likes to check out things like that too, even if she's not doing a lot of crafty things. My youngest brother lives with me, and he is kind of in charge of this event thing on Sunday evening. Just like a small thing that is music based, and it's Thanksgiving themed, I guess you could say. Like, anyway, at the church, and our parents and my other brother and his family are coming into town. They're not staying at my house. But I just found out this morning that I guess my brother is planning on cooking dinner at my house, but he's not the one who told me that, so I have no idea when he's arriving. And sometimes for him, cooking dinner means like it's ready at 10 o'clock at night, so I don't know. And my youngest brother, he'll be off work, so he'll be here. And my parents are dropping like their dog off at my house because where they're staying doesn't allow pets, and I don't know. And this isn't even the reason why I was crying on the floor this morning. It's just part of it all. Rainy, there's a reason that live streams face your stitching is because you don't have to look presentable. So maybe for book club, you could just like take a picture of yourself and like hold it up as a mask in front of you. You'll always be presentable. Thank you, Jen. I came on so that I could stop crying, really. Like, it was definitely like an overwhelmed cry of, yeah. I got the cry out, and then I needed to move on, and you guys are my way to move on. Because you guys are wonderful. Like that. It's true, sometimes they do. And they did, and my cats and my dog got in my face wondering, well, they either wanted to know if I was okay or why I wasn't giving them food. I would make way more time if I could to come on and just give people a place to have community and connection. Like, we all need that. And I've said it before, like, I do not mind like providing that place. Where if you just need to like stitch and not talk, or if you want to talk, like you can do either one. And I will just jabber at you until like the whole time. I don't even know how we have enough to talk about sometimes the whole time. I could sing it. I know that song. Well, actually, here's the thing about that song is like I always morph it into another song and I don't know why. Like, I love you, you love me, we're a happy family with a knick-knack, paddywhack, give the dog a bone. This old man comes rolling home. I don't know why I always morph it, but it always just seems to lead right into it. It's always acceptable to cry in front of your students. Well, you're kind of in a unique position as a psych professor to do that. You do the same thing, Alicia. No. You're like turning into like my second Stitchy twin here. That's weird. A Friendsgiving, I love it. You know, Case, just because they are your 6 closest friends doesn't mean that there's not some stress. Susie does the same. Okay, y'all, I'm so glad you don't even you don't even know the real words. I can't I'm sure I know them somewhere, but I don't. I don't know them right now. I'm so glad that's not just me. I can't even think of how the Knick-Knack Paddywhack starts, like the real song. Right now, I can't think of it. I do know it, but it must have the same melody. Bananas in pajamas are coming down the stairs. That one? That's all I know. You know the whole okay, so I never watched Barney as a kid, and neither did my daughter as a kid. So I'm not like, yeah. Bananas in pajamas. That's literally all I know. I don't, there's not even a hint in my mind of, you should know more of this. I don't. Lucky I'm in love with my best friend. It's not what you were saying. Lucky to where I have been. Lucky to be coming home again. Pajamas and pajamas are coming down in pairs. Bananas and pajamas are chasing teddy bears. 'Cause on Tuesdays they all try to catch them unawares. What? Yeah, I definitely don't know that song. Thanks for joining, Sharon. Enjoy your dinner. That's so random. Look, you can see more of that shelf. Like, that's the shelf right here. You scared her away with the bananas. Or maybe she's gonna go eat some bananas. Now you know why you can't remember those lyrics. 'Cause I never knew them. have enough down here that I can stitch in these parked threads. And then I can see how many more stitches I need. I'm starting to get hungry. Breakfast was the reason for my meltdown this morning, though, so we'll see how I fare with facing lunch. Okay. I'm at 585 stitches. So maybe one more color. We'll see how many stitches come up. Did my eggs beat you instead of you beating them? Okay, so because I've been waking up not feeling rested, I have, like, it's been hard to get out of bed. I can't sleep in. My body just won't. Anyway, so I'm trying some different things to, like, be okay, but whatever, it's a work in progress. So I finally got up and I went downstairs, and like there were just a lot of like mess things in my kitchen. Some of it was my fault. Like there were dirty dishes that I had left, but then there were dirty dishes that my brother had left because he cooked dinner last night, and it was like everywhere. And there was like trash in the sink, and my wooden cutting board was in the sink. And like it was just kind of one too many things. And then I was like, I can't do this. Maybe once I have breakfast, I can do this. And so I started looking around for something that I could eat, which is a struggle when I get kind of in this like overwhelm, stress, like cognitive decline place. I struggle with things like cooking, and like making the decision about what to eat. Anyway, so I looked in the fridge and I'm like, ugh, nothing is here. And then I looked in the pantry, I'm like, ugh, nothing is here. But then I spied like some bagels and I was like, oh, a bagel. What can I do with it? Oh, a bagel. We can do, I can fry an egg so it can be like some kind of a protein. It'll be good for my body. I don't know why I didn't look in the fridge and say, I can make an egg. It was like the bagel that triggered, I can make an egg. And I could put it on the bagel with some cream cheese because I don't know. Is that healthy? There's an egg in it anyway. And so I pulled out the bagels and I turned around and then, of course, realized that there was all of these dishes everywhere and that my pan was like still dirty on the stove from when my brother cooked the night before. And like I was going to have to clean the pan, which meant I was going to have to get access to the sink. And I just like started crying and like curled up on the floor. Oh man, this sounds ridiculous. Anyway, I had to cry and then I was like, I still need, like, I wanted to not eat. It was, I just didn't, I couldn't. like, what mountain was I gonna climb? Like, was I going to cook breakfast or was I gonna do the dishes? Like, but it felt like these two different mountains that I had to do both, and like I couldn't even do one of them. Ugh, I wanted to just not eat. It was easier. Like that was the easier decision. But I knew it was a stupid decision, so I didn't let myself make that decision. So I did the dishes and then I did breakfast and then I came and went live with you guys. Like that is the story of my morning. Uh-huh. Yeah. It was great. But now it's like 1 o'clock and I'm like, oh, hungry again. But I'm gonna walk downstairs and at least the dishes are clean so I don't have to face that part of it. And maybe I can face a meal of some kind. I'd have no idea. Okay. The question. I do not take an SSRI. Um, I don't I don't like taking medications and I really don't have to. And even if it would be good for me sometimes, I don't take one. Uh yes, dishes can be super overwhelming. It doesn't like sometimes it's sweeping, you know, like it's things that don't might not even take a long time, but they become this huge thing. And that is why I came and was like, I'm gonna talk to you guys. Joyce, it's good. You are welcome to be in lurk mode. It's always okay. I love my Lowry too. Hi, Jemima. I was talking about you earlier. Somebody, sometime in the past 3 hours, bought a Lowry stand. She like while she was here, she bought a Lowry, um, as her as a Christmas present to herself. It's fantastic. What did you miss? Uh, all good things. All good things. I said that I was excited that we were talking about goals on projects and how you and I are going to end this our supersizes together. We've got a shared date. Yeah, you can use hoops because it's a twist bar that clamps into place so it can get as small as you need it. I haven't done a hoop on it. I use my Q snap on it. But yeah, it'll hold anything like that. Pajamas, you miss lots of pajamas. Chasing teddy bears. Yay, you're doing it too. You're working your super size. Yay. I'm still in my pajamas. We have talked about that so much today. Like, I don't want to be still in pajamas, but after dealing with like the breakfast thing and the dishes thing, I could not get dressed. And so I came on to be live and to have friends and to not be alone. And yeah, I'll deal with getting dressed after that. I really liked getting the Lowry, and it really helped physically, like not hunching over or sitting in more weird positions than I already sit. So the Lowry helped a lot with that. I think that would help because you have shoulder, and I think the floor. I don't know. I like the Lowry. It's always I never regret coming on here and just talking with you guys. Whoever it is that happens to be around. And it's been very active. You guys have been chatting like the whole time. It's fantastic. Um, Alicia, Jerry, who purchased the Lowry earlier today, she said that Lovecrafts has the Lowry on sale right now. I don't know what that sale looks like, but if you look around, you can see them on for sale. Or maybe you'll be like Joyce and find a steal of a deal on eBay. I want to get the like table clamp. Somebody had that at the retreat, so I saw it in person. And um and that was kind of hard. It was hard to use my Lowry with that chair that the retreat had. Um and so being able to eliminate that potential by just having the table clamp. Plus, it's probably smaller, so it's even more portable. But I've heard good things about the corner clamp too, for the Lowry. I just use like the regular one, but a lot of people seem to like that corner one. Is the corner, which one is a problem? The corner clamp or the table clamp? The corner one? Because why I'm I'm trying to see why it would be a problem. Maybe if you put more weight on it. Celia uses it a lot. Yeah, I really like that they offer the extending arm. I don't need it. But any bigger arm than what I have, I would definitely need it. Yeah, yeah. You use two Lowrys, one on either side. If I didn't already have this floor stand, I would do something like that. I just really like how minimal the Lowry is. It doesn't have a big like profile. It doesn't take up a lot of space. They have accessories, a lot of accessories. So you could customize it how you need to customize it. I really like that. You're gonna have to get a second Lowry now for the bookshelf. Yeah, if I know that they have like I don't know, resty things, arm, I don't know what they call them. But they have some accessory for like bigger projects, but just getting a second stand also seems like a really good idea, especially for one as big as a bookshelf is. So, oh, well, technically I have reached 614 stitches. So, and it's been 3 hours. It's, yeah. In 3 hours, I did 614. It's about accurate. 2 to 3 hours is usually what it takes me. So, here we are. I don't even know where I was when I started, but I stitched here. um, I have a million messages I need to respond to. Oh man. But I need to take a picture. And there we go. My phone is being all kinds of slow right now. Stitch Pal. I'll show you what I mean about it being like a little sluggish. How many stitches? 614. Add. So it goes to this page fine, and then when I come back, like here, you can see it's like trying and trying and trying. It can't update. It's like updating its numbers, and usually I just leave it like this. Because this is still yesterday's. It hasn't added in today's yet. I don't know that you have to have a picture because I've done it when you I just take a picture and I add it in there so I can see this. But I don't think you have to have a picture. It just won't show up the picture here. You do have to have your pattern all loaded, like your project. in. Look, it's still working on it. If I close it though and reopen this, oh, that's not, it will probably have it in here. See, like here, I haven't put in the picture for this project yet because I haven't downloaded it. This is Stitch Pal. See, I take the picture because I post it on Instagram all the time. So here it is now. This is what I just put in here. But you don't have to have the picture. But that's how you add it in, is the plus, and then you can put in your stitches. You can also say how long you stitch, but I never keep track of that at all. I literally just do those two things. Look, it says I have 529 stitches a day. Oh, look, now it's trying to do something again. I was going to show you the completion date that Angie doesn't want to see. Okay, so my average is 529 a day. And at this rate, if I didn't have any travel dates where I wasn't stitching, I'd be done whatever the 8th month is. Is that August? August 16th, 2024. But I build in for travel days, so I build in 60 days where I won't be stitching. So my goal is October 31st, 2024. And that's 473 stitches a day. So I stitch 600 and yeah. And that's that. That's what I do. Now I need to make my collage. $53.28%. I don't know what it is. Today's the 18th. Like, I don't know what day it is. I'm pretty certain it's Friday. Whee! I don't need this ad. Saved. You're coming back at the end. Yep, I'm finishing this up. I showed the stitch count on Stitch Pal. This is where I keep all my information. I just have a note that keeps it all for easy posting. Oh, whose post is this? Lady Stitch a Lot. Oh, this is a super size. Look at those colors. That's pretty. Okay. Here's the thing. I talk on and on these things on live, and then I get to writing a caption, and I'm like, what do I say? I think writing a caption is the hardest part sometimes. But not when I'm live, because I had a fantastic time stitching on a live stream with so many Wonderful friends. I'm going to visit everyone. It's a promise. I'm going to travel everywhere. Oh. Emoji. That's what I do. Well, you are really close, Jen. I feel like that should be easy to make happen. Okay, thank you everybody. This was like the best choice that I could have made for these 3 hours. I'm going to go get dressed now and eat some food. And I don't know, do something else. You'll buy that Suki Tour shirt. Wait, now I have to do shirts? What? This is getting elaborate. This is not just like visiting people. This is now like a whole thing. I guess if I'm going to tour in a couple years from now, that I have time to have something. I don't know. You know, why does it... I'm pretty certain this is the shelf, but it kind of looks like... I'm pretty certain it's down here. Give the people what they want. Well, only Alicia's asking for a shirt. I'll make Alicia a shirt. Right? We don't need to do shirts. We can do shirts. We don't... Jen's gonna go teach intro psych. We the people. Oh my gosh, you guys. Wish them luck. If they're intro to psych, yeah, intro is probably the hardest. I feel like you don't know what you're getting into. Okay, much love, you all. I will be around. We'll do this again. Maybe we'll do it weekly. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. I love you all. Thank you for being amazing. Bye.